This is video 3.2.2, and the goal of this video is to be able to determine the number of solutions to an equation. So you've already been working with solving equations, but now we're looking at equations that have more complicated answers. So we're going to start with example A here. So we're still recording our work just like normal, but we're going to get some interesting results, and we'll talk about them when we get them. Remember, there's multiple ways to solve an equation, so feel free to try solving this on your own. But when you hit the end and you get some interesting results, be sure to check back in the video and see if you got the same results that we got. So remember, our first step is just to write down the original equation, which has already been done for us. And our second step is to look for flipping. And hopefully you're noticing that there is some flipping that you can do here with the minus parentheses 4 minus 3x. The left side is just going to get copied down because there's nothing to be done on the left. But on the right, we're going to start with flipping everything inside the parentheses from the bottom region to the top. So the 4 becomes a negative 4. The minus 3x becomes a positive 3x. So we started with flipping. Now hopefully you're noticing some simplifying that can go on. So I see the 2 minus 4. I actually can do that math and get negative 2 plus 3x. That's a simplifying step. The left again, nothing to simplify. There's only 3x minus 5. You can't combine those. But now we start to look for things we can remove from both sides. And hopefully you might be seeing something different than I am, but one thing that I see is there's negatives on both sides that I can remove. 2 negatives. So I'm going to remove negative 2 from both sides. I'm also going to see, I see some x's on both sides. So why not take care of it all at once? I can remove 3 x's from both sides. So when I do that on the right, notice that if I remove these 2 tiles, sets of tiles, I'm going to end up with nothing on the right. So we write 0. On the left, when I remove it, I will still have some negatives. I'm going to have negative 3. Now what we want to remember here is this is an equation. So this really says negative 3 equals 0. But hopefully you're realizing that's kind of weird. That's not true. Negative 3 does not equal 0. So that means that there are no solutions to this equation, because this is never true. You can't ever say that negative 3 equals 0. So we say no solution to this equation. So don't be afraid to see these weird results, but just make sure you think about what that means for the equation. So let's take a look at another example. We're keeping our eyes open for interesting solutions. So again, we start with looking for things that we need to flip, and hopefully you're noticing that this minus x minus 3 can be flipped from the bottom to the top. So the left side I'm simply going to copy for now, and the right side I'm going to start by flipping. So I copy the first 2 terms, but this stuff in the parentheses is going to get flipped to the top region. So it's going to end up minus x and a positive 3. Now I'm seeing a lot of like terms that I can simplify. So I want to do that so I don't have so much stuff to copy down, and so I write a simpler answer. So I'm going to simply find like terms and put them together. So I really have 8 and a negative 2x. And on the right, I see a 5 and a 3 I can combine. So I also have 8. But when I combine this stuff, negative x and a negative x make a negative 2x. So now I'm going to work on doing things to both sides so I have a simpler answer. Notice that you have the same thing on both sides right now, the exact same tiles on both sides. So I can remove, remember, tiles that are the same on both sides and keep the equation balanced. So I'm going to remove 8. And I'm going to remove a negative 2x and remove everything. Why not? So this is going to be gone from both sides, and so is the negative 2x. I'm going to end up with 0 on both sides. Keeping in mind, again, this is an equation, so this says 0 equals 0. It's a little bit different than what we had on the left example. When we have 0 equals 0, you should know that that is always true. On the left, this was never true. And when it was never true, we say there are no solutions. When it's always true, we say that there are all solutions. That means every number in the world could be plugged in for x, and it would make this equation true. So we give the answers of all solutions when we get a case like this. On the left, we gave an answer of no solutions because it was never true. So those are the 2 unique situations you're going to be keeping an eye out for. Sometimes you'll get an exact answer and sometimes you'll get these unique solutions. We're going to try questions 1 through 4 that you see on your worksheet. When you're finished with questions 1 through 4, go to the following website that you see here to enter your solutions. This way your teacher can help you if you got it wrong, and remember always to ask questions if you feel unsure while you're working on things, and to check your answers as you've seen your teacher do and you've practiced in class lately. So after you finish questions 1 through 4, you'll continue on the worksheet, but expect your teacher to stop by and check in with you on your solutions to questions 1 through 4. Good luck, and be sure to ask lots of questions if you don't understand something.